mistakes. I apologize for being a day late, but your man just been working, and a lot of times I just be tired, man. So I saw the show yesterday, but I was just tired today. I just like, you know what? I just gotta get my rest on, so I got plenty of rest. This is gonna be a very long review because I gotta talk about the drama that's going on in the WWE. I have to talk about it. So let's go ahead. So Mr. Matt Riddle has been caught up again because this is not his first stint, but they got caught up again, and apparently they wrote him off TV. He was caught for having substance abuse, and apparently the substance abuse wasn't weed. This man was snorting cocaine. And now we're gonna do both segments because I got to talk about Mandy Rose. This is not his first stint. This has happened before. Listen, this is what you want to do in a situation like this. You send cats away. They gotta go to rehab. Get the heck to rehab. This fool ain't gonna be on TV for a whole year. It's unfortunate because a lot of people was getting ready for a potential return of Randy Orton, but he been dealing with a lot of back issues, and they said there's a potential he might have to retire or something like that. But I don't know. I'm not speaking, that into existence. But with this situation, they gave him a 6-week suspension. I'm like, look, you ain't coming back till you get right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we allow you to smoke the weed. You can smoke the weed because apparently they lift that ban. You can smoke weed now. So you can smoke weed. But when you start snorting that cocaine, we got a serious issue. Because now cats going to start pointing at like, where did you get that crack from? Did you get that crack from somebody up here? Listen, man, let me tell y'all something. People try to make this out as if the rest of the industry don't have no drugs going. Listen, man, they call it drug, sex, and rock and roll, whatever. It's been a part of wrestling forever. All that mess. Drugs has always been there. It's been around. It's always been around. But WWE trying to make sure that we're not being put in a bad light. So we're going to suspend this cat. He got to get his behind right. And once he come back straight, we'll let him back. So apparently he's off 6 weeks. Well, that means 6 weeks from now is the Royal Rumble. That's when he'll be returning, if I'm not mistaken. But let's go ahead and talk about it. So, like I said, this situation is silly. Very silly. Now, this situation right here. Miss Mandy Rose. Now, everybody and their mama know that she was recently the NXT Women's Champion. Now, she had a long year reign. I didn't give a rat's behind about Toxic Attraction. I understand a lot of people loved it. They thought that this was a revamp of Mandy Rose because she was selling herself. The way they say sex sales, right? Toxic Attraction. That was the whole gimmick. Gigi and the other young lady ran with it. They called Toxic Attraction. Well, this reign of terror that she was on had a lot of fans in mixed bags. A lot of fans loved it, and a lot of fans were like, I didn't give a crap about no doggone NXT, so I wasn't watching. And a lot of times people was also questioning how the heck when she came through, she was white as milk, and then come back, now she looking like a black woman. I told y'all, man. Somebody put this up. They said that they wanted all the girls to sit up and basically look like Sasha Banks and them. I'm just telling y'all right now the whole is true. But like I said, for me, I didn't give a rat's behind about this. I didn't care. But apparently they said that Mandy Rose actually picked up the wrestling in the building. She actually got better in the ring. Kudos to her on that. Now, let's talk about the reason why she got released. So, Mandy Rose has had a OnlyFans account, and then not on OnlyFans, it's some other site that's connected to Only. It's kind of like OnlyFans. Now, everybody in the mama know what OnlyFans is about. I don't have to go into details on what OnlyFans is about. You know what OnlyFans is about. If you don't know, Google it and see what I'm talking about. She was putting explicit content on there and selling it. Well, she was making twice as much money on there than what she was in WWE. Now, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm working on a contract for a wrestling company, and I take a gimmick that was thrown to me because you wanted me to quote unquote sell my body. That was the whole point. It was sex sales, right? How the clown are you gonna have a problem with me doing something where the gimmick that I'm doing is actually what I'm doing in real life? Now, look here. Here's the deal. Apparently, this is what the rule was. The contract breach agreement was you can't do this when we are connected with Mattel. Everybody and their mama know that Mattel is the hardcore toy company that has been with WWE since day one. Mattel also put out toys for Power Rangers and other big name companies, but the people at Mattel was like, look, we can't have this represented because it's a kid-friendly organization, and we can't have this raunchy type of content person attached with it. So I'm not sure if they gave her a warning. It sounds like they did. I don't know. But like I say, it's kind of like it's a double standard. You want me to quote unquote sell myself? Well, I'm actually doing it in real life. And apparently the where she was doing the stuff, posting herself and all this foolishness, she was doing it with her husband. Listen, if people get off to that, you do what you got to do. But this type of stuff right here, like I said, if it was me, I'm not going to release it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to suspend her, and I'm not going to, if she's a part of that Mattel stuff, she won't be able to make the money on Mattel. I'm going to suspend her. I'm not going to release her. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of a double standard. Because first of all, WWE has made trillions off of sex. Everything, it seems like everybody that work at the back got some kind of sex tape that work at WWE. I'm just telling you, bro. Hey, wrestling in general, because there's fools that probably got sex tapes out here that work for AEW. But the name of the game, man, is let's be fair about this situation. Was she in the wrong for continuing to do? Because they claim they gave her a warning. Was she in the wrong for continuing to do it when they told her, look, you don't have to calm down on this? Because ever since quote unquote Vince has been dropped, they kind of let them do their third party things, Cameo, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Make as much money as you can outside of WWE. And apparently she wasn't making enough. According, I'm like this: if you paying somebody and you on the roster and you a wrestler, I'm gonna throw the bag. I'm gonna give you the biggest bag that you could possibly get. But they said nope, you can't do that. So on NXT this week, instead of them waiting and going out at the New Year's Eve episode, because that's basically what it was. Because remember, at the NXT Deadline pay-per-view, Roxanne Perez, she won. She became the number one contender. Roxanne, she became the number one contender to win the NXT or go up to face the NXT Women's Champion, which was Mandy Rose at the time. Well, Mandy Rose put her over, so everybody was like, okay, she put her over. Maybe she can get called up to the main roster. Next thing you know, she said she got caught off guard. Like, I didn't think I was gonna get a release like that. Well, apparently she ain't dropping the other on it, because it's not only I don't know the name of the site. It's the other place where she got the stuff up there. Her and her husband, they doing the nasty, they doing everything, butt naked, all that. She ain't dropped it. She gonna make her money. She doing what she got to do. Like I said, but they gave her the gimmick. The gimmick was sell yourself. They call themselves freaking Toxic Attraction. Like I said, if it was me, if I was in the driver's seat, if I'm Triple H and Stephanie and Nick Khan and whoever else is calling the shots, I'm going to quote unquote just suspend her, and I'm gonna make sure that she is not taking part in the Mattel stuff. I mean, Roxanne just won the championship, so you go ahead and push Roxanne out there as the face of the Mattel stuff. You know what I mean? But I wish her best. I know fools want her to get picked up by AEW. I mean, listen, man. Like I said, man, I wasn't really the biggest Mandy Rose fan to begin with. I mean, obviously, like I said, she revamped herself by going back down there. But it is what it is, man. I mean, it is what it is. I'm like I said, I'm just being 1,000% with you. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's an unfortunate situation. I wouldn't have done it. I would have just suspended her. I mean, because it's kind of messed up how you allow cats to snort cocaine and still be on your roster. You allow clowns like the Usos to get DUIs and still be on your roster. And then this is the last straw. Like, oh, you gotta go. It's a double standard. It's a double standard, especially when it comes to the women. It is a double standard. But listen, man, I wish her the best and whatever she plans on doing with her life. It's sad. It's very sad because now, how is Gigi and the other young lady, how they gonna get over? They got over because Mandy Rose was the leader. it just messes up everything now. It messes up everything for those two young ladies. I feel real bad for them two girls right there. And I'm not even, I didn't care nothing about them. I'm telling you, I didn't give a rat's behind about no doggone Toxic Attraction. I didn't care nothing about it. But I feel bad for the two young ladies because Mandy Rose was the leader of the group. She led them. It's like those two fit great with her. She did the goofy stuff and they just followed along. They pulled the goofy stuff. They pulled it off. It was working. Fans loved it. You know, now she's gone. You know, listen, if I'm WWE, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait some time. I got a feeling she'll be back. I got a feeling she'll be back, and you know, let bygones be bygones. Just the whole Mattel situation. Like I said, she just won't get paid with the Mattel stuff. That's it. Since Mattel don't want nothing to do with this raunchy, you know, pornography bull job, fine. Just don't have her plastered as a toy. That's what I'm looking at, you know. But that's that. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to talk about before I get into this review? Well, it looks like it's official. Sasha and Naomi is definitely free agent. I'm gonna wait. January 11th is a big night. That is a big night, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait until January 11th on AEW. I can't wait. It's huge night. I can't wait. So I talked about those two things. So let's go ahead and let's dive into this show. Let's break this down. This is Winter Is Coming 4, if I'm not mistaken. Winter Is Coming 4. We have a lot of things that transpired on this show. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a very good showing. TK is learning. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's a new producer that then came through. And apparently he was supposed to be the guy that Triple H was going to hire if they got rid of the Bucktooth Beef over there in WWE land, Kevin Dunn. His name is Mike something. Well, he came through, and based on how this episode was produced, everything was slowed down. They allowed certain things to breathe. When things happen, he allowed it to breathe. It wasn't rush. You know how Tony Khan loves to rush. Certain things happen. You let it breathe before we go on to the next segment. I mean, listen, man, AEW has the potential of being one of the best wrestling shows on the planet. The potential is there. It's there, man. But I'm going to be honest with you. There were some things on the show, a couple things I wasn't feeling. But overall, man, the production, TK, he's learning, man. He's learning, man. I understand there's certain cats in the IWC that they can't stand his guts. They hate him. They want AEW to be off television. They want Vince McMahon and them to buy AEW. I don't understand that. I hate a monopoly. I don't ever again want to go back to a monopoly when it's concerned to wrestling. I don't. Competition is what makes wrestling great. You know what I mean? But let's break down this show. So Tony Khan and the company got the rights to Roundhouse. I forgot the name of the actual song, but we all know it was the theme song for the 90s on the NBA on NBC. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You hear that song, you think about one clown. You think about multiple clowns, but you think about one clown. The clown that was out this way, his name, Michael Jordan. Y'all already know. Every time that song came on, you already know. It was go time. The Bulls, I'm telling you, winning left and right when they won 91. No. It first started in 90. So, them got it first. Detroit, because it was the 1989-1990 finals, and I think it started. It was 91 or 9. I know it started in 90. I know that, but Michael's era is what brought in that song. NBC, the NBA on NBC had the rights. They was on from 91 to 2002, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was it. You heard that song. That song came on. I'm telling you, man. Listen, it's a timeless classic. So they used that song to promote match number 4, Death Triangle versus the Elite, and I liked it. It was pretty dope. It was cool. I liked it, man. It was like it brought back memories. I thought back. I was thinking back to how it was back in the day when I used to see Michael, used to see Patrick Union, used to see Shaq, Penny Hardaway, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton. I mean, you name it. I mean, listen, Gary Payton, Sean Kemp. Oh my goodness, man. I mean, man, listen, I'm telling y'all, it was nothing like the 90s, man. I'm telling you, it was Man, my goodness. But anyway, so we get to match number 4. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, I knew it, because how many times do I get on WWE for giving us the same exact match over and over again? You knew what you're going to get. I told you, when these 6 clowns get together, what are they going to do? They are going to do spot fest like crazy, because that's what they do. And I understand why a lot of people don't like their style of wrestling, because it's all a spot fest. So you had to ask yourself, how the clown are they going to change it up for these next 3 matches? Well, throughout this match, things seem to be going the Elite's way. It was going the Elite's way, but something happened in, I believe it was Nick. Was it Nick? It was Nick. I think it was Nick. Nick's ankle or something. Something happened to Nick's ankle, so he had to be carried to the back. So obviously that's the story. So now it's 2 on 3, and now it's like, how the heck is Matt and Kenny gonna be able to beat Pac, Phoenix, and Penta? How the heck are they gonna be able to take these clowns out? It's the 2 versus 3 of them. They out here just balling, doing everything, clowning, doing all the silly stuff. I mean, just trying to hoop, quote unquote. They trying to hoop, right? And then Nick comes out the woodwork. He come out the woodwork. The crowd goes nuts. He had his ankle tanked up. So you get back in there. You thinking, okay, they got it. They gonna get this one right. Rick Knox got his back turned. He ain't paying no attention. Penta go get that hammer again. They get that hammer. I think he got it from Alex Abrahantes. Listen, man, Pac and Penta, those two, and Alex Abrahantes, the 3 of them are on heel mode real fast. Like, they all click. The only one in the group that still wants to win the right way, he doesn't want to cheat, is Rey Fenix. That's been the whole story of what's been going on with Death Triangle. Like Ray he'll cheat, but he doesn't want to, because he knows this is not the honorable thing to do. He knows it. So they get the hammer and they whack Nick's ankle. Boom, match over with. So Kenny get on the mic. He said, you know what, screw this bull jive. He says, you clowns want to keep cheating? Screw it. The next 3 matches is about to be no DQ matches. So we about to have all hammers match for the 5th match. The 6th match is gonna be a no DQ match, and then the 7th match, if necessary, is gonna be a ladder match. We tired of putting up with this. Since you clowns want to continue to be doing this injustice, foolishness. So as of right now, the script is the Elite are down 3-1. They're down 3-1. How many times we've seen this? No team, quote unquote, has ever come back from a 3-1 deficit, a la LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers of 2016. We know what happened. They was trailing 3-1, scripted. I told everybody that this stuff was fixed. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, listen to me. Professional sports are nothing more than wrestling. I'm telling you right now. I don't know why fools don't want to receive that. We're not watching anything but wrestling. The wrestling community needs to wake up. The whole world needs to wake up. We're watching nothing. Everything is wrestling. Everything. So, how the clown are they going to overcome a 3-1 deficit? They will. They're going to overcome. So, like I said, first match, all right. Like I said, you know, it's like, but they setting you up for these next 3 matches, which are about to be bloodbaths, because they finna be bleeding like crazy. Everybody, all 6 of them finna be bleeding like crazy. And these next 2 matches leading up to that ladder match, which is in the Young Bucks' backyard in California. So that's that. So talked about that. So we get a promo from MJF. MJF is basically allowing us to get the last little bit selling this match. He talks about Ricky. He says Ricky is a wannabe promo. He had his little quote-unquote star-making moment, but he's about to destroy the Pebble. He's about to make him look like a complete clown. He's just worthless. He's a worthless clown. He's a worthless goof. You know, MJF's doing his usual stick. You know what I mean? You know, trying to sell the match for one last time. So, that's that. Then we get, let's see, making sure I ain't skipping nothing. Okay, yeah. So now we get the Acclaim. Acclaim come out. and the crowd goes nuts. Let me tell y'all something. Dallas, Texas. Listen, Texas is coming up, man. Texas is. Listen, you talk about hardcore wrestling cities, you already know it. You know California, Cali. You know Vegas. You know New York. You know Philly. You know Chicago. Texas is starting to be up there because Dallas was hot. They was hot for the whole show. They were hot. They were hot, man. I'm telling you, I got to give them props. They was hot. So the Acclaim came out, ready to do their usual thing. Crowd going nuts. Start talking a little goofy. Listen, man, the Acclaim, you already know. You know Platinum Max. You know Anthony Bourne. Y'all already know how this thing work. Said a little cheesy rhyme. Talked about what they getting ready to do. And then, as they get into the ring to do the little daddy you-know-what stuff, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh came out the woodwork and destroyed them all. Now, I get it. Fans don't care nothing about no Jeff Jarrett. Don't care nothing about no Satnam Singh. Don't care nothing about no Sanjay Dutt. Don't care nothing about no Jay Lethal. But, man, I got to give props to my cat, this cat that I look at on TikTok. This dude said, man, people be talking about wrestlers don't have legit heat no more. But he said, this was great. And I was thinking about it. Well, the Acclaim are the most over babyface. Don't nobody give a rat's behind about Jeff Jarrett and them. And Jeff Jarrett he can get legit heat. And what they did, coming out there, basically murdering the biggest baby faces in AEW right now. As much as I really don't give a crap about the match, this was great. I gotta give TK props. He's learning. This is, even though you may not care about said match, what is it? It's wrestling one-on-one. You get heat. People don't like it, right? They love the Acclaim. Biggest baby faces out there. Daddy A, Scissor Me Daddy A, the Acclaim have arrived. We everybody love them. We all this, right? They over. All this heat moment. You get these 4 clowns coming out there, murdering them on the scene. You feel some kind of way. Boom, there it is. The whole point is to get the fans to feel some kind of way. It's to get an emotional reaction. What did everybody do? They ran to Twitter, said, "What the F is it?" Emotional reaction. That is what wrestling is all about, correct? Getting that legit heat. Can't stand these clowns, right? I can't be mad. I can't be mad at them. So we get a recap of Claudio and Willa Union winning they said championships at Final Battle. Like I said, pretty dope, good matches. Then Jericho with the JS Society pretty much said that he's gonna murder this jobber. He's gonna basically have the opportunity to beat the brakes off of him, and he gonna celebrate. So, now, then, so right after them, we had Moxley, Willa Yuta, and Claudio cut a promo about what they getting ready to do. Since Regal done left, they about to terrorize everybody. They about to run rapid. They still the BCC. The BCC is here to stay. All of this. And so Sammy basically said he gonna wrestle Moxley. And I know a lot of people's like, we got to see this again. I thought we was done with the BCC versus the JS Society. But obviously, I guess this is the finish. This is the end. So now, this matchup right here. The match was good. This was a great match. But I'm going to be honest with you. This had made absolutely no sense to even think about doing this. First of all, Tony Khan said he wasn't going to be having clowns from Ring of Honor on the show. And what does he do? He brings Brian Cage out there. Brian Cage is 1/3 of the Trios champions for Ring of Honor. The Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champs. Why is he on here going against Jungle Boy? Jungle Boy has a beef with the Firm, right? I don't know. How about you have him go against Lee Moriarty, right? You got him beef with Big Cass. I ain't called him. We call him Big. I'm not calling him Big. I ain't calling him all that. I'm still gonna call him Big Cass. He beefing with the Firm, right? He beefing with Stokely Hathaway's crew, right? Why don't you have him go against Lee Moriarty? Common sense, right? He beefing with Lee Moriarty, right? He beat Lee Moriarty, right? Then that's when Big Cass come out there and the two of them jump the man. So then you could do that. But we got Brian Cage, who is the said champion. What I always say, I hate champions losing. I hate it. Now here's the deal. Brian Cage made Jungle Boy look great. Jungle Boy made Brian Cage look great. The match was a great match. But I didn't care nothing about the match because, first of all, I'm tired of seeing Ring of Honor clowns on the show that don't need to be on the show. This match didn't need to happen. It did not need to happen. This was stupid. This is a dumb position. This is dumb on Tony Khan's part. This was stupid. So he beats him, rolls the man up. Then that's when Big Cass, Lee Moriarty, Stokely Hathaway come out there and they just straight murdered that man. So he getting beat up. So I'm asking myself, well, who's going to join Jack Perry? Who's going to join him? Hook music goes off. The crowd goes crazy. He comes out there and he helps him. And so as of right now, it looks like it's going to be Jungle Boy and Hook teaming up. Now, I'm not sure exactly where we're going with this, but I actually don't have a problem with this. I prefer, I'm telling you, if it was Jack versus Lee Moriarty, that would have been perfect. You had those two go against each other. Then Big Cass do what he need to do, and then Hook come out. That would have been a perfect storyline because he already beefing with the firm. Brian Cage didn't need to be out here taking the pin. He didn't need to be. Now, I understand. Fools love Brian Cage. People want more Brian Cage on their show. You got a right for him to. You have a right to feel that way. But this particular situation, I didn't want it because I'm tired of seeing champions lose on AEW television in non-title matches. It's stupid. It's very stupid. It makes absolutely no sense. But that's Tony Khan doing that retarded stuff. It's stupid. So like I said, if there's anything I'm going to take a dump on, I'm taking a dump on this whole thing right here. Brian Cage didn't need to be on the show. Didn't need to be in this match. You had Lee Moriarty sitting right there. So more than likely it's going to be Big Cass, Lee Moriarty, and they call him Big Bill, which sound retarded as heck. Those two are going to end up going against those two pretty soon. I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. So, yep, I talked about that. Yep. So, like I said, I talked about this segment already. They said what they had to say. So, after they spoke, so like I said, we get Sammy versus Moxley on Rampage. Hangman cut a promo about Moxley, and let me tell y'all something. There's a lot of people for some reason don't be feeling Hangman. Hangman, one of the best baby faces I've seen, man. He knows how to captivate you based on what he says, and he used a serious real life injury and tied it into the storyline. They asked him about after the situation. Everybody want to know how I'm doing. Everybody want, well, here's the live update. When I was in the hospital, I was asleep. I was asleep for a good 60 minutes. Then I went to the hospital. They woke me up and they asked me what date it is. He said exactly what the date was. He remembered the date. But then they showed him a picture of his son. They said, do you remember your son's name? And he said for a whole minute, 1 minute and 30 seconds, something like that, he could not remember his son's name. Hangman knows how to get you to feel what he's going through. He said, I don't care when, I don't care what, but I'm going to murder him. I'm going to murder Moxley. And listen, people talk about how in wrestling, it's hard to get a feud it's hard to get a storyline or a feud that's not surrounding the title that you care about. Moxley and Hangman had the potential of making this storyline one of the best storylines of wrestling is moving forward if they put the time and energy into it. And I believe they can do it. The title was nowhere near the storyline. There was no title. It was just a hardcore feud that we've been missing. We've been missing those hardcore feuds that have nothing to do with the title. And WWE seemed to have a hard time doing that as well. But kudos to Tony Khan, Hangman, Moxley, everybody that's involved with this situation. So now, House of Black come through. They basically beat the snot. I'm telling you, they beat the snot. It wasn't even a match. The Factory, QT Marshall, it wasn't even a match, man. It wasn't. But like I said, before I go on today, we got a video package promo from Shane Strickland talking about certain cats used to be cool. He said every time I bring certain cats on, certain cats got a problem. I made certain cats, and now I'm gonna have to finally have this beating with this fool. next week. We gonna hash this thing out. Cause you don't even really know what's about to pop off. Listen, man. Swerve is playing this heel role. He's playing this thing. Swerve about to take this thing. He about to go to another level with this, man. And this is the potential to make him and Keith two main event players moving forward. Especially if they're gonna be on the Ring of Honor show. This is going to make them two main event players moving forward. I'm telling you right now, I'm looking forward to this right here. This is great. Shane said what he had to say. So now back to this. Malachi Black, QT Marshall, wasn't even a match. The whole factory basically got destroyed. They all got beat down. House of Black, Julia, Buddy Matthews. What's my dude's name? What is my boy's name? Man, I can't believe I forgot his name, man. Y'all forgive me. Forgive me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All four of them actually look great together. I'm telling you, I want them to start building Malachi Black and the crew up to potentially win those trios championships. Brody King, thank you. Brody King, I'm looking forward to them taking these trios championships and running away with them and making these trios championships. Because right now, the trios championships are in a great position right now. Listen, their triangle hasn't looked better than in the entire AEW career. This is the best they all look. But when Kenny and the Bucks get it and then transition and give it to them, it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be epic. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm looking for, because I want to see the House of Black do great things, man. I don't just want them coming through just beating the brakes out of folk and making, I understand what they're doing. They're making a statement. Malachi is basically he's not putting forth the effort until he needs to put forth the effort, which is great, So it lays that man out. So now we get a video package. Kira Shida is taking on Jamie Hayter next week for the AEW Women's Championship. Both of them had the opportunity to speak. Shida cut her promo. Jamie cut her promo. These girls are about to slap. These girls are fan. Look, if I'm Tony Khan, this is gonna be my main event. This is the main event next week. I'm purposely putting this on as the main event because a lot of people talk about the women's demographic doesn't do this, they don't do that. I'm putting it on. That's gonna be my main event. That is gonna be my main event because I understand these two young ladies are about to slay. They about to murder each other. It's about to be off the chain. So now, once again, a lot of people are starting to get a little tired of Renee constantly. She either interviewing Britt or she interviewing Red. I'm like, they're going to have to come up with something different. I understand they're trying to build up something. I get it. But you ain't got to do the same exact thing every week. Okay, I interview Soraya this week. I interview Red this week. What else is there to talk about? There's really nothing else to talk about. Y'all basically need to just hash this thing out, get this thing over with, and we move on. We done heard both sides. We done heard from Soraya. We done heard from Britt. It's on. So Britt talking bull jive, saying all this crap. Sky Blue come out the woodwork and say, man, we done hurt your behind way down the street somewhere. Your loud behind tail. And first of all, that's all you know how to do is talk. She pretty much said that she can't wrestle. That's basically what she said. She said, well, let's put your money where your mouth is. I'll wrestle your behind on Rampage. Call it a day. So we got Sky Blue versus Britt Baker this Friday on Rampage. You know what? I'm looking forward to, because Sky Blue is being prepped to be in that title picture come 2023, 2024, moving forward. I see what Tony Khan is doing. And obviously she's getting better on the mic, because obviously she can go in the ring. It's like now it's the promo work. That's the name of the game. Just what Tony Khan does. Tony Khan, I see what he does. He really does try to sink or swim situation. All right, you've been in promos class for a while now. All right, you stepped up in the ring. We got your name out there. Like I said, several months ago, I didn't know who Sky Blue was. Now we know who Sky Blue is because she's showing up every other week on TV. So she's getting the opportunity to showcase who she is and everything. So I'm fine with that. I ain't got a problem with that, but I do, like I said, we're going to have to change the things up when it's concerning Renee always interviewing the same folk. We got to do something different. Do something, change that up. Do something different to make things interesting. You know what I'm saying, TK? That, like I said, I'm cool with it, but I understand why a lot of people say, you know what, they kind of gonna have to change this thing up because they constantly doing the same thing over and over again. Like, make it different. You know what I mean? Renee don't have to interview folk every time. Like, she don't have to interview the same people over and over again. You know what I mean? So, now, for me, this was right here. This was like the highlight of the whole show. Now, ain't nowhere in the world, ain't nobody know who Action on Andrade was. Ain't nobody know who that clown was. Because Jericho said, I'm about to beat the brakes off this jobber. I'm about to go out here. I'm finna handle the business, do what I need to do. Excuse me. Listen, man. I tell y'all all the time. See, a lot of times, man, look, we get so carried away about how a certain person is outside the ring or all of this. I'm here to tell y'all every day. Jericho was one of the best business decisions on bringing in. Jericho is one. Him and Moxley are the main two. I'm telling you, coming over from the E, helping elevate and getting AEW off the ground. Jericho, man, listen, man, hate him or love him, this cat knows wrestling. He knows how to do business, man. I like I said, man, I can't stand this behind in the ring, and the reason why is because he's doing the job. But man, this boy can teak. Listen, man, you can't be mad at what Jericho is doing. Jericho gets it, man. He gets it. And with this situation right here, my mind is like, okay, yeah, Jericho gonna do what he gonna do. He gonna go in here and he gonna beat the brakes off of his jobber, right? So, for the first half of this match, it was a no-brainer. Jericho was manhandling this cat. He's manhandling, beating the brakes off of him. Then, when they went to commercial break, you started seeing this young man kind of getting some offense in here, get some offense in there. Then when it come back, Jericho would be doing certain moves. He'd be trying to do submissions and all of this. And the young man kept kicking out. He kept kicking out. And I'm sitting up here watching this. I said, wait a minute. I said, is they about to pull a 1-2-3 kid? Like what happened with X-Pac and Razor Ramon, a.k.a. Scott Hall, way back in the day on Monday Night Raw, back in the New Generation era, which I tell y'all all the time, I never watched. I only seen clips of it. So, forgive me. I know a lot of people like the New Generation era. I understand that's Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and them all day. But this right here, I mean, this young man, and look, the young man can go. I was like, yo, this Action cat he's pretty good. Like, I'm like, Jericho's not only making him look good, he's out here carrying himself. This is when you know you got yourself something. Listen, man, he was getting it in. So it came down to a specific spot that Jericho did. It was like, okay, this thing is over. And then my man kicked out again. I said, oh, and listen, that was insane. Crowd was going nuts. They was going ham. I'm telling y'all, man, they was going crazy. So we got to it. Jericho thought he had this thing won. My man, I don't know what he did. He did some kind of crazy move or something and got the 1, 2, 3 and shot the world. I was like, yo, Jericho just made this young listen, this was a moment. You talk about genuine moment. See, this was missed out of wrestling. Sometimes WWE does it every now and then, but this is what we need more of. We need more special moments like these. And this Action cat, he ain't never gonna forget this. This young man will never forget this. And so Jericho was ticked. He was mad. And so they showed him backstage just taking a chair, beating the brakes off of stuff and kicking stuff. And he's like, oh, no, this how the heck did this fool pull? No, he didn't. No, he did not. No, he did not, man. Like, come on now, man. Like, how did this clown, and during this match, Jericho got the term jobber over that the fans was calling, let's go jobber. Let's go. And then another thing, too, he got that Ocho stuff over. So every time when somebody got somebody in the submission hold and they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Ocho. Listen, man, Jericho find ways to get certain things. So that's why he one of the best, man. I take my hat off to Jericho, man. This was excellent. This was by far the moment of the whole show for me, man. Action Andrade, this young man got it. He got it. Jericho put the young man on, and Jericho didn't have to do it. He did not have to do it, but he made this young man's listen. And got signed on the spot because soon after he won TK put the banner up there with his name, say, Action Andrade is all elite. I said, that's perfect. I said, man, you don't get no better than that. It don't get no better than that. I said, man, this is excellent. This is excellent. This is how you make somebody's life. This is a moment. Young man will never forget this, man. He will never forget it. So I saw a clip on Twitter. He had the opportunity to talk. Dude actually can spit. He can talk. I said, oh, we really got something with this young man. Now, obviously, he's a local from Dallas. He can talk. I said, we got something with him for real. Now, again, now it's the follow-up. Because sometimes this is where TK and them kind of struggle. It's like you get somebody over. Now, can you follow it up? I have absolutely no idea what they're going to do with this young man, but whatever. TK, let's keep the momentum going with him. Keep it going. I'm not saying put him in a title feud or nothing, but just keep the momentum going, because everybody's like his stock just shot up. Everybody like, oh man, this Action Andrade cat is pretty cold. He's pretty dope. I said, I gotta see more of this dude. I gotta see him. So, ladies and gentlemen, we get Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks has a rebuttal. It's his turn now to sell. Why should you root for Rick? Basically, both men basically was having their last little bits on selling the match. Ricky basically said, listen, I heard what you had to say. You still maxi pad, always running your mouth. But I'm just telling you right now, when I go out here, I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. I'm going to win that championship because it's my time now. This is absolute Ricky Starks. You're a waste of time, and I'm going to beat that behind. Listen, man, Ricky's great. Ricky is great. I'm telling you, man, listen, AEW's in great hands, man. I just want them to continue to get better with their production, with what's on TV. Because I listen to the cats who critique this show. I listen to them. I listen to my main guy, King Mike. And I understand, I get what King Mike is saying. You don't want to just put anything on TV. You want fans to care. Now, kudos to TK because the ratings just sparked all the way up. They went from 800K to almost 1 million. It was 950. Kudos to them. Keep pushing. You want people to tune into your product. The name of the game, I keep saying, you got to get clowns to care. If we don't give a rat's behind, what's the point of you even being on TV? What's the point? It's really no point of you even being on TV. You gotta care, man. This is what I always say. I'm a realist. I'm an AEW head, but I'm a realist when it's concerned this AEW stuff. I want AEW to be the best thing on TV, period. Outside of what's going on over in WWE land, I want AEW to thrive. I don't want it to fall off. I want them to get better. And certain things TK still needs to learn how to do it. That's why a writing staff is always key. I mean, heck, if you gotta hire somebody like a King Mike, put them on. If you gotta hire some other cats out here, you just put them on to help you go along, TK. Don't just sit up here and try to book the show by yourself. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Get some help. Get somebody who knows creative and have them take part in certain things on the show. Your focus should be the main event scene for the AEW men's title, the AEW women's championship, and the trios. That should be your main focus. While you get somebody else to take care of the TBS title picture, you get somebody else to take care of the tag team division, you get somebody to take care of the All Atlantic Championship, you get somebody to take care of the TNT title. And I'm not even talking about the Ring of Honor stuff. The Ring of Honor stuff is a completely separate thing. I'm just talking about the AEW championships. So your focus would be the AEW Men's World Championship, the AEW Women's World Championship, and the trios. That is Tony Khan's position. Those are what you focus on. Meanwhile, you get somebody underneath you to take care of the TBS title. You get somebody to take care of the TNT title. You get somebody to take care of the AEW Tag Team Championships, and you get somebody to take care of the All Atlantic Championship. Man, I'm telling you, this show would flourish so much. It would flourish. It would flourish, man. I'm telling you. Kudos on the ratings boost. That's excellent. Kudos. Great. Now let's talk about this women's match. Ruby Soho versus Taya Mello. This is obviously a feud. This is a beef match. They go through with it. You know Ruby Soho was gonna get a win. This is an okay match. Here's my deal about this. I still need more reasons to give a care about Ruby Soho. I really do. This was my whole thing. My whole deal was I was thinking that Ruby Soho was gonna be the one that was potentially gonna go and take the title off of Jade. But now, certain things that I'm hearing, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, look here, man. January 11th is gonna be a special episode. January 11th is gonna be special. Somebody else is also possibly pulling up, because look here, those pictures wasn't just taken to be taken, and y'all know who I'm talking about. I ain't mentioning nobody's names, but certain somebody was with, well, you know what, screw. Certain somebody was with Jade Cargill. That wasn't no coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. That was no coincidence. So obviously they wanted Taya to look like she was gonna win. Obviously, you know, Ruby is the babyface, so she got to make the epic comeback, struggling left and right. Taya doing certain moves on her, crowd is booing the mess out of her. So now the whole deal was she's coming back from a broken nose or whatever. So obviously she was trying to quote unquote break her nose again. It didn't work. Ruby Soho got the better of her. She knocked her out 1, 2, 3. Then that's when Anna Jay came out there, and the two of them basically murdered that girl. So now, is Ruby Soho going to have to find a new tag team partner or something? Now, I've been hearing a lot of people say that AEW needs women tag team titles. No, they don't, because they still struggling with the women's division. I don't want to see AEW women's tag team titles nowhere near this company. I don't want to see it. Maybe 2 years from now when the women is more established, but not right now. Because they're still struggling with the AEW Women's Championship and the TBS title. We don't need them to bring in another set of titles. We don't need it. We don't need it, man. I get it. I understand it. You're trying to make sure that everybody gets TV time. But we got to establish the women's division first. That is the whole gripe. That's the name of the game. We want these ladies, look, some of us, I know there's fools that can't stand women's wrestling, but somebody like myself, I want these girls to do great. I want them to be, listen, I always say I want them to be up there with the fellas. I'm telling you all the time. They up there with the fellas, man. Listen, this is top-notch best company on wrestling TV. If everybody's on the same playing level. But everybody got to be on the same playing level. They do. So, talked about Heyman. Already talked about it. So we got Dustin Rhodes in the company. Best friends, Danhausen. They said they're going to basically beat the brakes off of Butcher, the Blade, Kip Sabian, and Trent Seven on Rampage. I mean, you know, it is what it is on that. Now, we get to the main event. Now, I was looking forward to this, and they delivered. The hype, the build, and I don't want this to be a one-off, especially how the match ended. I do not want this to be a one-off. So, the question is, how do we continue it? How do we continue to make Ricky Starks look great moving forward? So, we start off, Starks, MJF, they come out, and MJF is quote unquote getting the best of Ricky, basically making him look like a fool and everything. But then Ricky turned on him. Ricky, he flipped the script real fast, and while he was quote unquote trying to make a mockery out of him, Ricky made him look like a fool so fast that he legit ran out the ring, went into the audience with the fans, ran up on some dude, took his hat, then ran up on another cat, took his popcorn and threw it right in his face. Listen, man, MJF is, look here, man. MJF is the cat that make you want to see him get jumped. That is the status that MJF is in right now. Like, I want to see him get his behind kicked every day. Every day. So, he get back into the ring. These cats start tearing it up again. Lock in, submission mode here, spear here. I mean, they going at it. And old school MJF does the thump to the eye. I mean, they listen. Look at, man, MJF. I take my hat off to this cat, because I know a lot of people be talking about he can't do this, he can't do this. This young man shows me something. And then, like I said, you go in the ring with this cat like Ricky. I want to see it again, just not right now. I don't want to see it right now, but I definitely want to see it in the future. And I definitely, I do. Because like I said, basically everything they was doing, then there was a spot where MJF had Ricky in a submission. So Ricky was like, okay, let me try to get over to the rope. MJF said, no, sir, I'm about to get your other leg. I'm about to get your other arm. And it looked like, okay. And then he pulled that one arm way back. I said, man, Ricky must be double jointed or something. Because I said, he was stretching that boy's arm. MJF was stretching his arm so bad. I said, man. So then he was like, okay, so let me try to get my leg to the doggone rope. And he said, no, sir, I'm about to get that. So he got that. So now look, how the heck is he going to be able to tap out? Well, then he was able to get his other leg on. I said, man, these cats out here tearing it up. They are tearing it up. So with all the drama going on, with all the foolishness going on, Ricky is right now, Ricky is getting the best. Ricky's out here up one the man. And it was a couple of spots where Ricky had this match won. It was like you knew Ricky. Everybody and mama knew Ricky wasn't winning. Everybody. We all knew Ricky wasn't winning. So, my man Paul, I think that's the referee name. Paul had his back turned. Was it Bryce or was it Paul? I forgot who had. I'm telling y'all, man. I forgive me. Like I said, I think it was Paul. He had his back turned. MJF did the typical low blow. I now know a lot of people was like they wish that he did some other sentences. Yeah, it was Paul. All right. Yeah, I'm right. It was Paul. Y'all got to understand, we just getting into this title reign. And I understand that he won't be cheating all the time. But you got to understand, we got to get some kind of heat on that man so fans can feel some kind of way for Starks. Because that is the whole game. We know Starks is arrived. Based on this performance that him and MJF did last night, Starks has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. It's his time. Starks is in the main event scene. You see, he done punched his ticket. Starks done punched his ticket, and he's staying. He ain't going back to no mid-card. No, sir, no. Ricky is in the main event picture from here on out, based off of this performance he gave tonight. So he low blows the man. 1, 2, 3. Everybody feeling some kind of way. Then Bryan Danielson's music hit. I said, oh, we are getting started, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting started. Bryan came out, he chased that man off. MJF grabbed his championship, went into the fans, ran all the way up the stairs and everything. Looking back, he looking at that man, so he go in the ring. He pick up Ricky Starks. He pointed at Ricky Starks, said Ricky Starks is the ride. He got next. And that's basically how the show went off. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't got a problem with it. I don't. I say TK is learning. It's about presentation. It's about pacing yourself. It's about getting cats to give a rat's behind about what you putting on TV. I tell y'all every day, the reason why wrestling has been dwindling is because nobody gives a care about what they showing. Don't nobody give a rat's behind about what's going on Monday Night Raw. Don't nobody give a crap about what's going on Rampage. You got to give cats a reason to care. We have to care, ladies and gentlemen. We have to. If we ain't caring, I'm not watching. Like I say, a lot of times when it's concerning wrestling, I may be home. A lot of times I might not be home. I figured I'm going to watch the show on DVR and then come to you a little bit later. A lot of times I try my best to come that same night. But sometimes if I'm wore out, if I'm tired, I'm going to come back and redo it the next day, like how I'm doing it tonight. But like I said, overall, I told you exactly what I wasn't feeling on the show. But like I said, this is a very good episode. This is Winter Is Coming 4. And apparently, based on the ratings, Winter Is Coming, the ratings have went up. So they started off like 900. Then the next year was 915. Then last year was 948. This year was 950. So they continue to go up. That's kudos to TK now. That's great. You can't be mad, man. These cats are on fire, man. They doing their thing, man. And I'm very excited about what's to come. Like I said, just keep it up. Keep it up. Make us care. I say this every day. You're going to hear me say it all the time. We got to care. If we ain't caring, we're going to turn this trash off. That's the name of the game. We're going to turn it off. I tell you, I'll be as real as I possibly can. I'm not finna sit up and sugarcoat. I'm not finna shield. I'm going to tell you how I feel about certain things. If I like it, if I don't. And I'm going to be honest and unbiased. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to hate, because I understand there's a lot of fools that hop on here and they just hate. That's all they know how to do. They don't know. They can't be unbiased. They had to be as biased as they can, because it's unfortunate, but they wish they was in that position. Like I said, I ain't nowhere in the world. I can't book no wrestling show. I can give my opinions. I can give my takes on what I feel should happen on the show. But TK is in that position. I'm not in TK's position. I can just give him some pointers on what to do. You know what I mean? But ladies and gentlemen, man, this has been a great review. Hit your boy up. Hit the comment section up. Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Twitter at Beast of Blessings, KC, aka Marcel YC, KC for the rest of the takes, Twitter, whatever. I'm on there. Like the video. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment on how you feel about the show. And I'll talk to y'all cats later. Holla at your boy.